Okay, let's dive right into this explainer by validating a modern, hyper-relatable experience. Picture this. You're waiting for your microwave to heat up some leftovers. It's only, 45 seconds? But within the first 10 seconds, this subtle panic sets in. There's this immediate, almost undeniable itch in your brain to reach into your pocket, pull out your smartphone, and aggressively refresh an app you literally just checked 2 minutes ago.
So I have to ask, why can't you wait 10 seconds? Really take a second to reflect on your own daily habits here. Do you absolutely need a podcast playing in the background just to fold a basket of laundry? Or do you find yourself propping up your phone on the mirror to watch a video while brushing your teeth? Somewhere along the line, a few moments of empty silence have somehow become physically unbearable to us. And to understand just how severe this aversion to silence has actually become, we can look at a wild 2014 study published in the journal Science. Harvard researcher Timothy Wilson and his colleagues set up a remarkably simple experiment. They asked participants to sit completely alone in an empty room, with only their thoughts, for 15 minutes. The only catch, they were also given a button that, if pressed, would deliver a painful electric shock. Now, the results of this were absolutely staggering. Get this, 67% of the men and 25% of the women in the study actively chose to push that button. They chose to administer actual physical pain to themselves rather than endure a mere 15 minutes alone with their own idle thoughts. It's mind-blowing when you really think about it. That brings us to a really fascinating question about evolution and how our idle brain is actually supposed to function when left to its own devices. You see, for 99% of human history, doing absolutely nothing was completely normal. Early humans didn't evolve the sensation of boredom just to torment themselves. Boredom actually served an essential evolutionary purpose. It was a crucial survival signal. When an environment lacked resources or novel information, boredom triggered a wave of mental restlessness. It basically forced our ancestors to get up, explore new territories, invent new tools, or socialize. But today, we treat that exact same biological signal as a threat that needs an immediate digital cure. To really grasp why losing boredom is so dangerous, we have to look inside the brain itself. Dr. Marcus Raichle at Washington University mapped this vital neural circuit called the default mode network, or DMN. When you stop consuming external information and just let your mind wander, your brain doesn't just turn off, it switches over to this network. The DMN is essentially your brain's ultimate background processing engine. It's where you consolidate memories, process complex emotions, and piece together a coherent sense of who you are. And this background processing is exactly where our best ideas come from. Fascinating research by Dr. Sandy Mann from the University of Central Lancashire proved this. She found that subjects who were first forced to complete incredibly boring tasks performed significantly better on subsequent creative problem-solving tests, especially compared to control groups who weren't bored first. It turns out, doing nothing is actually the prerequisite for creative synthesis. So, if idle time is so crucial to our creativity and well-being, we have to look at how exactly our empty time was monetized and stolen from us. The hijack of our attention didn't happen overnight. It happened in stages. It really started during the Industrial Revolution, an era that valued human worth solely by physical output, effectively rebranding idle time as the terrible sin of sloth. But the real death blow? That came from Silicon Valley in the 2010s. The tech boom realized that human boredom wasn't a flaw to be fixed. It was the ultimate, massive, untapped market. Tech companies began viewing every 5-second buffer in your day, like waiting for an elevator or standing in line, as an inefficiency. So features like push notifications, infinite scrolling, and autoplay content were explicitly engineered to fill those exact gaps. They were designed to completely eliminate cognitive friction, effectively eradicating boredom from human existence by design. But constantly hacking our attention has a dark side. Let's dig into the true cost of all this constant stimulation. Completely eradicating a fundamental biological state comes with a severe toll. The modern attention economy demands a really high price for our 24/7 entertainment. We can break down this cost into 3 major areas affecting our mental health and creativity, which we'll use to guide the rest of our discussion. First up is the loss of the incubation stage. By filling every single microbreak with digital input, we completely starve that default mode network we talked about earlier. It never gets the quiet space it desperately needs to connect disparate ideas. I mean, this is exactly why your greatest aha moments and insights happen when you're in the shower or taking a quiet walk, and almost never when you're staring at a spreadsheet or mindlessly swiping through a TikTok feed. The second major cost is what psychologists call an emotional backlog.
Idle time is the critical window when your subconscious mind actually processes the grief, anxiety, and stress of daily life. When you immediately pull out your phone to avoid sitting in silence, those unaddressed emotions, they don't just magically disappear. They pile up in the background, creating this constant ambient sense of anxiety and overwhelm that you just can't quite pinpoint.
Finally, we face a dopamine baseline collapse. When your brain is subjected to constant, high-speed digital stimulation, your baseline for dopamine becomes artificially jacked up. And as a result, normal, quiet, real-world experiences, reading a physical book, having a slow conversation, or just sitting on a porch, begin to feel agonizingly slow and completely unrewarding.
Okay, so how do we fix this? Let's talk about reclaiming boredom through the radical act of doing absolutely nothing. The good news is we don't have to stay stuck in this loop. It's time we reframe boredom entirely. It is not an empty vacuum just waiting to be filled with the nearest glowing screen. It's the fertile soil where deep thought takes root. Bringing back that 2014 science study for a moment, the authors titled their findings with this brilliant phrase, "Just think, the unexamined mind." It's a powerful reminder of our core message in this explainer today. We have to strip away the modern guilt associated with doing nothing, and we have to stop running from the contents of our own minds. So I want to challenge you with a very practical application right now. The very next time you're waiting in line for coffee or standing by that microwave and you feel that uncomfortable, twitchy urge to pull out your phone during a short 30-second wait, just don't. Try leaning into the discomfort instead. Acknowledge the urge and choose to just look around and be present. Because the crucial point here is a powerful philosophical takeaway. In an economy designed to relentlessly monetize every single second of your attention, doing absolutely nothing might just be the most radical act of self-defense you can possibly take. Reclaiming your boredom is, quite literally, a necessary rebellion.
And that brings us to the ultimate question. The next time you find yourself with an idle moment, what's it going to be? Will you choose the digital electric shock of the endless scroll, or will you bravely embrace the radical act of silence? Think about it. See you next time.